People will often look at your success and just call it luck or a coincidence. They might even say you were born with some special gift they don't have. What they won't see are all the times you battled your own doubts, or those mornings you woke up with nothing but a clear goal and a burning desire. Money isn't just something you wish for. It only comes to those who really take charge of it with their whole mind, staying focused, never giving up, and having absolute clarity. You weren't put here to just get by or be ordinary. You're meant to build, to rise up, and to turn your ideas into something amazing through your thoughts and actions. The real secret nobody tells you is this: you don't chase wealth, you attract it. You do this by becoming the kind of person who truly deserves it. It's about training your mind to think, act, and believe like someone who already has that fortune. If you can picture your success so vividly that you can almost see it even with your eyes closed, and if you can control your thoughts really precisely, then wealth won't be able to stay away. It will flow to you as surely as the sun rises every day, because it has no other option. This isn't about getting rich fast or finding some secret shortcut. It's about changing yourself so that wealth is naturally drawn to you because of who you are, what you believe, and how you think. Every big fortune started with a single thought. Andrew Carnegie had the idea that steel would shape the future. Thomas Edison imagined replacing darkness with light. Henry Ford believed that cars shouldn't just be for the rich, but for everyone with a dream. These people taught their minds to follow their vision, to ignore all the noise from the world, and to listen to a different tune only they could hear. That's where real wealth begins. Your mind is like the control center. It's the ground where all your results grow. If it's full of fear, doubt, and distractions, no amount of hard work will save you. But if it's packed with belief, clear goals, and a strong desire, then even 1,000 failures can't stop you. Wealth is first created in your thoughts, in quiet moments when nobody else sees. It's born the second you decide your life will be extraordinary, and you stick to that decision with unwavering faith. But faith alone isn't enough. You have to think carefully, not just casually, but with discipline and a clear direction. Most people are like radios tuned to static, picking up all kinds of fear, failure, and average ideas. They just react to life, drifting along, giving in to whatever comes their way. Then they wonder why wealth avoids them, why nothing ever changes, or why opportunities seem to skip their door. The answer is simple. They've never trained their minds. They've never taken charge of their own thoughts, or firmly decided they would be the ones to succeed. You need to be strict about protecting your mind, guarding it like a king protects his castle. What you let into your mind directly affects your life. Are you filling it with doubt, gossip, and thoughts of not having enough? Or are you filling it with purpose, vision, and the exciting sound of your future calling? Wealthy people think differently. They don't just see things as they are. They imagine what could be. They don't ask, "Can I afford this?" They ask, "How can I create this?" They don't view problems as roadblocks. They see them as puzzles that can be solved with sheer determination. And they don't fear failure. They learn from it, because for them, failure isn't losing. It's just data, guidance, a way to get better. So, how do you start this change? You start by taking back control of your mind. Wake up before the world gets noisy. Find quiet time before the chaos begins. Sit with your thoughts and decide what kind of life you're building. Don't let the news, other people's opinions, or yesterday's mistakes write your story for today. You write it. You are the author. You design it carefully, like an architect designs a skyscraper, not just haphazardly, but with clear intent. Every morning, you get up and program your mind with clarity. Instead of, I hope I make it, you think, I will. Instead of, I wish I had more, you think, I am becoming more. Not someday, but today is the day I move forward. The wealth you want isn't somewhere outside of you. It's waiting on the other side of your self-discipline. Train your mind to spot abundance in even the smallest things. Train it to focus when the world tries to pull you in different directions. Train it to keep going when everyone else gives up. You do this every single day, not just once or now and then. Success isn't a final destination. It's a rhythm, a constant beat, a mental frequency you connect with. And when you do, the world starts to adjust to you. Listen closely. You will be tested. Life will throw challenges at you. People will doubt you. You'll fail more times than you can count. But if your mind is trained, if it's strengthened by faith, discipline, and action, then nothing can break you. That's when wealth starts to find you, not because you're lucky, but because you've become the kind of person wealth trusts. Don't be fooled by appearances. The world shows you fancy cars and quick wins, but those are just the results, not the foundation. The real foundation is hidden in the unseen work, the everyday habits that aren't glamorous, the quiet hours when no one is watching, but you still show up. Wealth is like a frequency, and your mind is the transmitter. You're either tuned into prosperity or you're unknowingly sending out signals of poverty. Think about it. A mindset of not having enough is like a virus. It spreads through phrases like, I can't, that's too expensive, or people like me don't get that. Every time you say or even think something like that, you're just reinforcing limits you were never meant to have. But abundance, that starts with a quiet whisper that says, there is more. There is enough. There is a way. The truly great people listened to that quiet voice. They followed it through the darkness when no one else believed, because they understood something important. And you need to understand it now. A mind trained to believe in abundance will always find it. Not because it's easy, but because it's bound to happen. Edison failed over 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Was he crazy? No, he was dedicated. He taught his mind to see each failure not as an end, but as a step forward. That's the mindset of wealth. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination, was fired, rejected, and broke. But he had something most people never consider: a mental picture so clear and real that he could already walk through the gates of Disneyland in his mind long before it was built. You need to do the same thing. You must first create that vision in your mind. Make it so real, so solid, that when others call you crazy, you can just smile because you've already seen your promised land. This isn't just dreaming. It's mental discipline, mental toughness, and mental alignment. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions all agree, the world starts to work in your favor. You don't attract wealth by begging for it. You attract it by becoming so valuable, so clear, and so aligned with your purpose that the universe has no choice but to respond. This isn't just a philosophy. It's a law, like gravity or time. Clarity is where your power begins. Until you know exactly what you want, your mind will be scattered. Someone who knows what they want and believes they'll get it already holds a power that others don't understand. You need to see it in detail. Don't just say, I want to be rich. That's too vague. Define it. How much money? Doing what? Living where? Waking up to what kind of day? Until your vision is clear enough to draw, you're essentially walking blindfolded. Write it down. Say it out loud. Build it so vividly in your mind that your brain can't tell the difference between the vision and reality. Because once your subconscious mind accepts it, your body will start moving in sync with that goal. That's how wealthy people live. They act from the perspective of their vision, not their current situation. They don't wait for their bank account to grow before they start thinking like an owner, a leader, a creator. They think that way now. Wealth isn't just a result. It's a reflection of your mindset, your standards, and what you're willing to accept or demand from yourself. Raise your standards, and you'll see your results change. Refuse to talk as if you're broke. Refuse to think about limitations. Refuse to spend time with people who fill your mind with doubt and small ideas. Your environment matters a lot. Your surroundings influence your subconscious more than you know. If you're always around people who think small, dream small, and fear risks, you'll shrink to fit their comfort zone. But if you put yourself among visionaries, people who push you, challenge you, and expect more from you, your mind will grow. The thoughts you have are like seeds. Every day, you water them with your feelings, feed them with your focus, and help them grow through repetition. Plant the seeds of wealth. Plant the seeds of abundance. Plant the thoughts that say, I am worthy. I am capable. I am building something that will last beyond me. And then get to work. This isn't just about physical work, but mental work too. Daily affirmations, daily visualization, daily mental training. This is where most people fail. They set goals, but they don't change the mindset that created their lack in the first place. You can't just fix not having enough money by working harder. You fix it by removing the scarcity software from your mind's operating system. Delete it, uninstall it, and upload the truth. That you create your own reality. That wealth isn't outside of you. It's waiting inside your potential. It's waiting for you to believe. You can't do better than your own self-image. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, just survives, or is a victim, then wealth will never stick around, even if it shows up. But if you see yourself as powerful, as a builder, as someone who adds huge value to the world, then wealth will cling to you like gravity. This is because wealth goes where it's wanted, respected, and expected. Now hear me clearly. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about being aligned. You're not saying, I deserve wealth because I'm special. You're saying, I will train my mind to become the person who creates wealth because I have something to offer this world. And you do. You have ideas, insights, talents, and energy. The world is desperate for people who bring light, not just noise. That's why you must build wealth, not just for comfort or for cars and clothes, but because your wealth gives you the ability to serve, to create, and to expand what's possible for everyone around you. Money isn't the root of all evil. Weakness is. Fear is. A lack of purpose is. Money is like a magnifying glass. It just shows more of who you already are. If you're generous, it makes your giving even bigger. If you're disciplined, it multiplies your impact. If you're lost, it will only make your downfall happen faster. That's why your first fortune needs to be built in your mind, not in your wallet. Because without a trained mind, money will slip through your fingers like sand in a storm. But with a trained mind, every dollar becomes a seed, a soldier marching towards your vision, a tool in the hands of purpose. You need to stop thinking like a consumer. A consumer waits, uses things up, and just reacts. But a creator decides, starts things, and leads. Train your mind to ask different questions. Not, what can I buy, but what can I build? Not, how much do I need to get by? But, how far can I stretch what I already have? Not, what's popular? but what is lasting, valuable, and truly needed. The consumer mindset chases the illusion of success. The creator mindset actually generates it. Think of Carnegie. He didn't ask, "How much can I earn?" He asked, "What system can I build that will create value for millions?" That's a question that creates wealth. And wealth flows to those who solve problems on a large scale. Your mind must become focused on solutions. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow, not to retreat. Don't wish it were easier. Instead, ask yourself, what kind of person do I need to become to overcome this? Wealth isn't a reward, it's a responsibility. It only belongs to those who can handle the weight of its power without being fooled by the idea that it's easy. You want to be rich? Then stop asking for comfort. Start asking for the ability to handle more. Grow your ability to lead, to learn, to endure, to manage the gap between the vision in your heart and the reality in your hands. That's where champions are made. And here's a truth that will set you apart from most people. Wealth is often boring. It's repetitive. It's built from small, consistent, almost unnoticed acts of discipline. It's not about grand gestures. It's about choosing to read instead of scrolling, to invest instead of spending, to act instead of complaining. Those who only chase the high of motivation without making deep personal changes will never have lasting wealth. You have to fall in love with mastering things, mastering your thoughts, mastering your emotions, mastering your craft. Because when you master something, you become irreplaceable. And the market always pays top dollar for what's irreplaceable. But here's where most people give up. They want it now. They want the result without doing the foundational work. They want the glory without the grind. You won't be that person. You will be the one who understands. Wealth moves towards those who can delay immediate satisfaction, who can say no to what's easy now because they see what's coming in the future. Discipline isn't a punishment, it's preparation. Every day you choose structure over chaos. Every time you control your urges and focus on what truly matters, you are tuning your mind to the wealth frequency. And let's be clear, this isn't about depriving yourself. This is about creating. Because when your mind is trained, you no longer need outside approval to feel powerful. You no longer need to show off. You just show up. You no longer ask for permission. You act with conviction. That's the difference between people who just dabble and those who truly succeed. It's not talent. It's not your background. It's not luck. It's your mindset. Your mind is either working for you or against you. There's no middle ground. So, how do you make it your biggest asset? You program it just like software. You feed it thoughts of wealth. You repeat them until they feel like the absolute truth. You visualize your goals until they are so familiar that failure feels impossible. You surround yourself with people who think bigger, who live with purpose, who aren't afraid of success. They expect it. You remove distractions like a surgeon removes a disease. No compromises, no apologies. Because you are building an empire, and empires aren't built by people who get sidetracked by every little thing. Your focus is your fortune. Guard it carefully. You also need to train your emotions, because the path to wealth won't be smooth. There will be tough times, detours, and days when nothing seems to work, and your mind will beg you to quit. This is where emotional toughness separates those who stay broke from those who are bold. You have to learn to act regardless of how you feel. You must learn to keep the promises you made to yourself long after the initial excitement has worn off. A mind trained for wealth doesn't rely on motivation. It relies on decision. It moves with clear intent. It doesn't negotiate with weakness. And when the storm hits, and it will, Remember this: you are not the storm. You are the power that walks right through it. With every setback, you become sharper. With every failure, you get valuable feedback. With every rejection, you refine your edge. This is how wealthy people think. They don't fear loss. They use it. They don't run from tough times. They rise through them because they know something most people never realize. The fire that burns away your excuses is the same fire that forges your fortune. Now, here comes the crucial point, because none of this matters. Not the knowledge, not the books, not the motivation, unless you actually decide. Unless you cross that invisible line between I want and I will. Desire alone isn't enough. Desire is just a spark, but decision is the fire. There comes a time in everyone's life when you have to stop just testing the waters and fully dive in, without guarantees, without a map, with only a vision, courage, and a reason that burns brighter than every doubt. The universe doesn't respond to hesitation. It responds to boldness, to clarity, to unwavering faith backed by relentless action. Think of Henry Ford. When he was told the V8 engine was impossible, he didn't say, "Maybe they're right." He said, "Build it anyway." And when the engineers said it couldn't be done, he told them, "Keep working. I don't care how long it takes," because his mind was made up, his vision was non-negotiable, and reality bent to the power of his belief. That's how wealth is born. Not by waiting for everything to be perfect, but by making imperfect situations obey a perfect vision. You don't need more time. You don't need more qualifications. You don't need more approval. You need more conviction. The kind that can't be faked. The kind that comes through in your voice when you speak your vision aloud, even if your bank account says otherwise. The kind that moves mountains because you refuse to be moved. Train your mind to be immune to rejection, to failure, to all the noise of the world, because the world will test your determination. It will throw distractions, delays, and doubt disguised as logical reasons. But your trained mind won't flinch, because you've already seen the other side. You've seen what's possible when a person finally steps into their full power and refuses to settle for a life of quiet despair. You must get rid of the part of you that hesitates, second-guesses, and waits for perfect conditions. Get rid of that version, bury it deep, and rise with new thoughts, new standards, and new rules. Wealthy people play by different rules because they operate from a different way of thinking. They don't ask, "Is it possible?" They ask, "How do I make it inevitable?" They don't need guarantees, because they are the guarantee. Their mind is trained to expect success, to adjust when needed, to change course if necessary, but never to retreat. This is how you train your mind to attract unlimited wealth. You align it with truth, you feed it with your vision, you discipline it with action, you stretch it with purpose, and you protect it with everything you have. No one can do it for you. But once you make that decision, once you fully step into your power, everything changes. Because wealth isn't just a number. It's not just a lifestyle. It's a way of being. It's how you carry yourself, how you think, how you respond to chaos, to opportunity, to failure, to victory. It's who you become as you're creating it. And when you become the kind of person who thinks, moves, and acts in harmony with abundance, the world will reflect that. Doors will open. Resources will appear. People will show up, not because of luck, but because you are now a magnet, a force, an undeniable presence that cannot be ignored. So, stop chasing, start attracting, stand tall, clear your mind, lock in your vision, move with purpose, speak with power, work like your life depends on it, because it does. This isn't a game. This is the rest of your life. You are one decision away from stepping into that rare space where wealth becomes normal. Effort becomes joy. Purpose becomes profit. And life stops just happening to you and starts happening through you. Train your mind, and everything else will follow. Because once your mind is rich, the world has no choice but to catch up. Remember this important point. Repetition shapes your destiny. You won't become what you visualize just once. You will become what you visualize consistently, every day, relentlessly, until your brain starts adjusting your behaviors, your standards, and your surroundings to match that inner self-image. That's not magic. It's how your biology works. So, listen to this lesson again and again until it's deeply ingrained in your brain and your subconscious mind, until you see the results you're looking for.